Expectations versus reality. Tonight, we're going to be talking about online dating and why it is critical to meet up with a woman as soon as possible. Because if not, like I said, you're going to start filling in the blanks the longer you wait. And let's be real, once you match the girl, initially, why would you even swipe on her? It's because her pictures look good. Let's make it clear, it's not her. She doesn't look good because you haven't met her. You haven't seen her in person. Her pictures look good. That angle, that profile shot happens to look great, but you don't know if she actually looks great or not. And believe me, I've met some girls in person who did well in hiding their flaws. Let's put it that way. But I digress. Going back to this. Yeah, the longer you wait, the more you're gonna have a preconceived notion of what they are like. Because we get a false sense of familiarity. Because those texts, we may seem like we know the person, but in reality, we don't know anything. Okay? First of all, obviously, you don't even know what they sound like if you haven't called them. And you don't know what their mannerisms are like. Also, you don't even know what they smell like. And believe me, smell plays a critical role. Very important in stimulating attraction, all right? Everything factors in. And when it comes down to matching a girl online, the only thing you got going on is those nice looking pictures and maybe a bunch of texts. So, let's stop wasting time and get them out as soon as possible. Because I got a perfect example for you. During lockdown, right? We're mandated to wear masks. And I've read studies on this too. People tend to look better with masks on because it hides more of their flaws. And by that, you don't know what their nose, mouth, or jawline looks like. So obviously, when we fill in the blanks, we're going to fill it in with something that's familiar, something that's pleasing to the eye. So of course, we're going to fill in the rest of their face with something we deem pleasing, handsome, or beautiful, whatever fancies your boat. And if you know the game Mortal Kombat, there's a character called Mileena. When she takes off her mask, she exposes some shark teeth. So obviously, you're not going to imagine some cute girl barista at Starbucks having shark teeth, right? But believe me, there's been some times where they finally reveal their faces and it's like, whoa. And let me be clear, it's not exactly that they were ugly, but you've had that preconceived notion of what their face is supposed to look like for so long that once you finally see their face, it's actually jarring. I'm sure you know this from people who had beards. Men who have beards for like years and they finally go clean shaven. You're like, whoa, what happened? You got a weak chin. Hey, that's just how it is, man. How do you know? You're not going to automatically think they got a weak chin because their beard showcases a strong jawline. Same goes with meeting these women. Texting is such a small part of who they are. You gotta meet them in person to know how they look like in 3D. Their bone structure, the way they move, are they confident? You know, everything. There is so much information that you're missing out if you simply resort to just keeping it through text. And let's be completely clear, phone calls don't help that much. Sure, you can hear their voice if it sounds good or not, but what else is there? Not much. FaceTime? Oh, trust me. Let me be the first to tell you. FaceTime is a death trap. Don't do it. I've done FaceTime about 7 or 8 times, and let me tell you, every one of these girls I have never met in person. They just end up flaking. Maybe it's because they know they weren't going to meet me or it was super low stakes. But hey, that's just my experience, alright? I've never met these person before. So take that as you will. Stay off FaceTime. Unless you really want to make sure if they're not a catfish, then I guess you could. But pictures do look suspicious. If you can tell, like, the corners are cropped, if they got white edges on the border, if they don't do a clean enough job cropping it, or if you can see the quality is bad. If they're taking pictures with their own iPhones or uploading it to their camera, to their phone via their actual like DSLR or mirrorless camera, of course the quality is going to be great. There's no reason to have artifacts on them, so be careful on that. Some of those are easy to spot. Luckily, I've encountered 2 of these catfishes, and I caught on pretty early because I asked them to FaceTime me, and when they wouldn't, I said, hey, send me a picture. They still wouldn't. And hey, I got my confirmation when a couple weeks later, their pictures from the dating profile completely changed to a different woman. So there you have it. And also, you gotta be careful of these pictures. Some of them, they out themselves. You could, if you pay attention, you could see how old these pictures are, whether they're a few years old, like 3, 5, hell, one of my friends told me he came across a profile where the pictures were 8 years old. Like, come on, let's be real. If you look the same, relatively unchanged, I'll give you 2 years tops, all right? And that's already pushing it because, hey, you never know. Some people just age faster than others, all right? Ask your friend, like, don't make the same mistake they do. Ask your friends, hey, do I look like this? And if they say yeah, all right, fine, you can keep it around. But hey, you gotta pay attention to these. If pictures are 2, 3 years old, look, watch out. And also, there's a term called fat fishing, where I know there's a negative connotation to that. Usually when they put on weight, guys do the same thing too. They looking pudgy or fat. Hey, that's also a form of catfishing, hence the name. You gotta watch out for that, because let's be real, you don't really hear the other way around where they gotten skinnier, or because usually if that's true, they probably look better. All right, so there's another thing to look out for. And that's about it for tonight's dating advice. Get them out as soon as possible. The less you have to for your mind to wander, the better. Means the less you have to fill in the blank. And once you're solidified, you take too long and you meet them, you most likely be disappointed because they're not what you think. So temper your expectations, keep them low, get them out as soon as possible, because hey, everyone's different, all right? Don't judge based off of looks. That's the easiest mistake to make. Maybe they're fit, maybe they're homely looking, or maybe the way they dress. You never know. They could be the kindest person, the meanest person, you know, any combination you could think of. Keep your expectations low. And that's it. Signing out. Peace.